Hello guys, today we're doing our yearly list of the most overrated games. Every year I do an update version of the most overrated games. 2018, there has not only been some new games, but some games have dropped down the list significantly as they lose popularity over time. But some games have practically ballooned in popularity, such as a certain Battle Royale game. And the original most overrated games list that I made that had like Banjo-Kazooie on it and Final Fantasy VII, those were dark days on my YouTube channel. Dark days. Number 10, Undertale. No one really talks about Undertale anymore, besides Deltarune. But I still put Undertale on the list just simply because of how overrated the game was when it came out. I think in 2019, if something even like Undertale comes out, this overhyped RPG, Undertale will be off the list, okay? Undertale, I don't need to explain it any further. You all know the drill. Undertale has a boring and bland story to me. You can like Undertale like every other game on the list, but I'm not gonna force you not to like Undertale. But Undertale is overrated to me and to a lot of other people. But a lot of other people like this. At least it's not My Little Pony or furries. Oh wait, furries are part of the Undertale fandom because Toriel exists. Never mind. Number 9. Number 9 is Grand Theft Auto 5. There are some games where you try so hard to like it. I just want to know why Grand Theft Auto 5 is so great. I tried playing it and I just couldn't get into it. Many other games I call overrated just simply because of an annoying fanbase. But this is just one of those games that I just tried so hard and I just didn't like the game for whatever reason. The game is still a good, well-designed game. I do appreciate Rockstar's effort into making the game. It just doesn't click to me. It just doesn't. For some odd reason. Just doesn't. I played several other similar games like Far Cry, and that I played more of that game than this game, or even the Life is Strange game. I played that game more than Grand Theft Auto 5, which is pretty much the same. But I have it's just a bunch of gripes. The online mode is practically just a bunch of annoying kids. The story mode, once you save the game, for some reason there's some bug or won't tell you where your destination, what you're supposed to do. So I just run around the map, drive around the map aimlessly, looking for where to go. That's not a good time. That's not a good time. Number 8. Doki Doki, Where's the Club? Oh my god. This is quite possibly one of my... I could have put this game higher, but there's just a certain group of games that need to be higher than this game. Doki Doki Literature Club, as you all know, remember Yandere Simulator? Well, this is Yandere Simulator, but it's a dating simulator. That's all I basically have to tell you. There's literally no gameplay in Doki Doki Literature Club, or the very little gameplay you have. Even Telltale games have more gameplay than Doki Doki Literature Club. That's how Doki Doki Literature Club is. You can like it and be scared of it all you want, but I just don't understand why this is so popular, okay? I think the big game, and it's funny how the developers, Team Salvato, wanted to make so weebs didn't like this game. If you make your characters look like freaking anime girls, weebs are going to do this no matter what, okay? You can't change a thing and make so it's not that. Team Salvato, you played yourself. You want weebs not to like this game? They did anyways. Number 7. No, not that game. Nobody plays that game anymore. No, skipping that game. Number 7. Number 7, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I still talk about how this game is dead, but still 400,000 people play this broken piece of trash. This is the only game I don't want people to play. This game is just it's funny how people complain about how Fallout 76 is so broken and buggy. Then they'll go and play PUBG for hours upon hours. Which is another broken and buggy game. Like, really? PUBG, if you play it on the Xbox, has tons of glitches, tons of bugs, unfair gameplay. Not because it's difficult, just you're basically isolated, not prepared to fight anyone, and then you just die. And you're not prepared because and half the times you die is from a freaking blue wall killing you. Yes, that's a thing. PUBG, screw you. Get out of here. And Fallout 76 is still a bad game. Number 6. The NES Mega Man games. I'm always gonna say these games are overrated. These games... Okay, so I played Crash Bandicoot. I'm gonna compare that to Mega Man. Crash Bandicoot has difficulty, yes, but it's not like Mega Man difficulty. Mega Man, here's the difference between Mega Man difficulty and all the NES games, including Mega Man 9 and 10, which are Wii games, and Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot has fail difficulty. There are some long levels in the game that are difficult, like that tower level. That level was difficult. Then we have Mega Man. When you make the first level overwhelmingly hard, of course you can choose the first level. When you make the level, all the levels excruciatingly hard. You know what? NES hard games in general, not just Mega Man. These games are just overrated. If you want a good NES game, just play Mario. Don't play these overly hard and difficult games. I'm talking about Castlevania 2. Console, that's actually a good game. I don't really think Console has a story, but Mega Man, Castlevania 2, which is actually a bad game. Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. It's just the fact that the story, that they don't even tell you where to go. You have to figure out for like guides and stuff. Like, you know, people didn't even have the internet when these games came out. And, let's not get to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the difficult levels in that game. Number 5, Pokemon Sun and Moon and their Ultra counterparts. Pokemon Sun and Moon, to me, are the lamest Pokemon games ever released. You can like these games like any of the other games, of course, besides PUBG, because PUBG's a buggy, glitchy piece of trash that people play, but Pokemon Sun and Moon are just the absolutely... No longer my least favorite Pokemon game, as a certain 2 Pokemon games released this year with you know what games we're talking about, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, not this year, last year in 2018, but Pokemon Sun and Moon is just absolutely just the most dull, actually not anymore, but to me, out of the main series games, let's not count Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, out of the main series Pokemon game, Pokemon Sun and Moon has got to be the most dull. And storyline, yes, it has improved over X and Y, but in terms of just gameplay, the game has long cutscenes that just why. They're unskippable as well, and the cutscenes don't really add to anything. They're just kind of just boring. They're just kind of just there. They're not really unique or interesting. They're just there. They're just there. They're not really interesting. Like, look at Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, for example. The cutscenes in that game show more, which is a freaking 2D pixel art game, 2D sprite game that shows better cutscenes than the first one. And the sequels as well than this game. Pokemon Sun and Moon, easily overrated game. Very overrated. Number 3 is Baldis Basics. Why is this game so popular? This is literally one of the worst games I've ever played. Remember Slender Man? But instead it takes place in a school. And it's all relatable people, someone who's your friend who wants to play with you, a bully, a principal who throws you into detention for way in the hallways, despite breaking his own rules, a sock, we don't even know what that does, a guy that just wants to hug you, and the janitor, which is really just a broom, a mop that sweeps you. Baldis Basics is quite possibly, why is this so popular? Baldis Basics? Why is Baldis Basics so popular? Why? How is this so popular? Any other game could have been popular, but no. Baldis freaking Basics. A game that just sort of just never been popular in the first place. Baldis Basics, overrated. Very overrated game. And it's funny how the first game linked with it is Doki Doki Literature Club, besides Gary's mod. And don't get me stuck on the fan base. Because the fan base of Doki Doki, not Baldis Basics, is just absolutely annoying. Number 2. You guys all knew this was coming. Number 2 is still Earthbound. It's Earthbound. Okay, as I explained, I will never understand why this game. Earthbound is the Incredibles to me of the games. It's a game that's with overwhelmingly positive reviews. And if you hate it, you're kind of committing a sin. It's also considered a cult classic, and people have been wanting a sequel to it for a long time, even though both The Incredibles and Earthbound are super dull and boring. People say how quirky and funny Earthbound is. It isn't really that funny. Maybe it's because I don't understand 90s jokes. The storyline of Earthbound is pretty basic, actually. When you compare it to freaking Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger, Earthbound's freaking story is just basic. You collect 8 things, you fight the devil, and you save the world. Woohoo! You know who else completed that same type of story? Pokemon! And that game's for freaking kids! Even though the same people who made Earthbound made Pokemon. You wonder why the stories are exactly the same then. A little kid who fights monsters with other monsters. A little kid who fights monsters and gets other little kids on his team. Okay, honorable mentions. Bendy and the Ink Machine, of course. The FNAF series. Cuphead. And some other games that I could have mentioned. Oh yes, and let's not forget Slender and the 8 Pages. Sometimes do not understand why some of these games are so popular. And let's not forget the most overrated game of all time. You've seen it coming. It is Fortnite. If you skipped all the way to number 1 to see what number 1 is, well, here's a brownie for you because you skipped the entire list. Fortnite is easily the most overrated game of all time. Fortnite is, my description, a crappy game. That's basically saying it best. Fortnite, for some reason, is the most popular game in the world. Why? I don't have no freaking idea. Like, when people say overrated games, they always come up with Call of Duty. Who the hell plays Call of Duty anymore? Said the cool kid. You have to play crappy Fortnite, said the cool kid. Well, I'm not playing a piece of trash. Remember when Call of Duty was overrated? Well, now Call of Duty will be considered underrated because of Fortnite. You get that? Fortnite is easily just a lame. It's basically just PUBG without the glitches and with Minecraft building mechanics. They even had a creative mode to rip off Minecraft. That's just absolutely just proof that Fortnite is just trying to rip off Minecraft and other games every so possible it can. You can say what you want if Fortnite is a rip off of PUBG, but they really just took creative mode from Minecraft and said, oh, you want to create your own buildings in Fortnite, even though you can do it in other games? Well, now you can. There's also the dances and the Infinity War ads they had. And then the fact that people literally thought the world was going to end because Tilted Towers was going to be destroyed. The fan base of Fortnite is absolutely just stupid. The world will not end if Tilted Towers is destroyed. The world will move on, and you will cry and sleep because Tilted Towers was destroyed. Absolutely, that's pathetic. Fortnite, most overrated game of all time. Just get it out of here. Fortnite, just get it out of here. Get this cancer out of here. And we went from Five Nights at Freddy's becoming the most overrated game to now, that's Fortnite. A game that was on no one's radar. Oh, FNAF was practically the same thing. And here's a secret. Fortnite is secretly started as an indie game. And that's all I have to say. Fortnite is a crappy game. As I said, I forgot another honorable mention. Roblox. Forgot about you. You're overrated as well. Roblox, overrated as well. That's it for the top 10 most overrated games. I would like to get a lot of hate comments because I said Undertale was an overrated game, even though I just don't understand Undertale's massive popularity. Like, I know it was going to be popular among neckbeards and Nintendo fans and those people who love JRPGs, but Undertale does global popularity. Is this really deserved? Okay, so you can hate me all you want, but by the end of the day, you can like any of these games except for PUBG. That glitchy piece of garbage needs to die. And Fortnite. Fortnite is gonna die soon as well. But you can like any of these games. Just don't worship these games at all, because this problem with these games is people practically worship them and practically treat them as a second wife. Goodbye.